Namaskar, my name is Shailesh Kumar and you are watching National Defense. What should be India's response to Pakistan, the perpetrator of Pahalgam attack that taken 26 innocent fellow Indians' lives we still mourn? There could be 5 possible call to actions as a perspective and prospective response to this question. Number 1, we avenge the death of Indian citizens by committing the same act. Number 2, we attack launch pads and terror bases in Pakistan Occupied Kashmir in a special military operation. Number 3, we have a limited war with Pakistan to regain Pakistan Occupied Kashmir with an intent to assimilate POK with our Kashmir as per the resolution of our parliament. Number 4, we have a full-fledged all-out war with Pakistan with an intent to liberate different regions that leads to formation of smaller nation states like Balochistan, Sindh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwah with FATA, Punjab, Gilgit Baltistan, and liberate POK to merge with our own Kashmir. Number 5, we have a hybrid solution with an aim to have a government and army in Pakistan that doesn't foster enmity with India and simultaneously avenge the death of Indians. These are 5 broad call to actions given the anguish in Indian public. Let's first talk pros and cons on all 5 possibilities. On 22nd April, 4 to 5 terrorists, including Pakistani terrorists, killed tourists after ascertaining their religion in a very shameful manner that is beyond imagination in Indian culture. So comes the first call to action option, that is to avenge the killings on religious line in tit-for-tat manner. So first of all, India is a secular democratic country and we do not stoop so low to the level of our adversary that matches us with that dirt. We believe in morality and avenging Indian deaths on religious lines would belie the sacrifice made by Muslim Poniwala, who laid down his life in saving Hindus. Moreover, our military does not fight on religious lines. They work on absolute secular ethos. So this call to action option is out of purview, mind you. Now comes the second call to action option, that is Indian military attack the launch pads. That is the second option. Not only the launch pads, terror bases in Pakistan Occupied Kashmir in a special military operation, as what we did it to avenge Uri attack in 2016, that followed by Balakot air strikes in 2019 in retaliation of Pulwama attack. The same pattern. Exercising this option demonstrates our military capability and political will. Purpose should be to raise the cost for terror groups operating against India. However, there is a possibility of risk of escalation as Pakistan may presume or fed by a third country that India has plans of full-scale invasion of POK. If the limited surgical strike done in swift, precise manner with strong response and documented evidences for wider publicity, then Pakistan would be exposed despite how hard it possibly attempts to deny the impact or evidences of terror groups existing there. But there is a catch here. India should have solid intelligence, and given our cooperation with superpowers in the world, I am sure we can have that real-time intelligence. However, we need to be cautious of Chinese collaboration with Pakistan military and should be ready for collateral damage. Saving political and military face in such a failed scenario would be very difficult given the sentiments in India. Now, coming to the third option, India should have a limited war with Pakistan to regain Pakistan Occupied Kashmir with an intent to assimilate POK with our own Kashmir as per the resolution of our parliament. It looks promising, but certainly not an option. One, it is our Prime Minister's consistent position that, and I quote, "This is not an era of war," unquote. This position has been consistent for years whether it is Russia-Ukraine war or Chinese aggression on our line of control. So let's discuss this briefly. First and foremost, both countries are nuclear power, so it will immediately escalate a small conflict to nuclear war. Moreover, with Pakistan deploying and employing tactical smaller nuclear weapons could be catastrophic for this reason, as India will respond heavily in retaliation. De-escalation will be a major issue at that point of time. Loss of lives, environment, biodiversity and infrastructure would make the region inhabitable for another 50 to 100 years, with risk of nuclear radiation affecting a larger population. Now comes the fourth option. We have a full-fledged all-out war with Pakistan with an intent to liberate different regions that leads to formation of smaller nation states like Balochistan, Sindh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwah with FATA, Punjab, Gilgit Baltistan, and also liberate POK to merge with our own Kashmir. So the answer to this is, you are not able to handle one Pakistan. How will you manage the perpetual regional instability at that point of time then? What happened in Bangladesh with Hindu minorities is one live example before you. Even you win, you will have no legal right to invade the sovereignty of other nation. You cannot assimilate other regions and disturb your own politics and society. Even if you liberate and form smaller nation states, there is a possibility of infighting within sub-regions. Even Pakistan's military is not able to cope up with that different terror groups, and that is a stated fact. The smaller states could attract Mujahideen and other terror groups of the world to this unstable region furthermore. A full-scale war, and more so if started by India, would bring condemnation from all sections of international diplomatic community. This may result in consequent sanctions if India goes against the will of great powers of the world. You never know. India, in case of war, may likely to lose prospects of permanent seat in United Nations Security Council. Moreover, China will certainly come heavily against India, given its huge investment and geopolitical interest in CPEC, in Gilgit Baltistan and Pakistan Occupied Kashmir. This will have possibility of two-front war, which will lead to a huge cost to India. It will stop India's rise economically and may force India out of great power influence it wields today. The war, if happens, will be a protracted one with huge cost of human lives and military sufferings in both the nations, and may inflict civilian casualties beyond control and imagination. Given the jihadi elements in Pakistan's different regions and in Pakistan military, there is a possibility of Pakistan's nuclear weapon falling in the hands of rogue elements, the terror groups. Prospects of use of a dirty bomb against India is not unaccounted for. Again, as on date, the politics in India is guided by Sanatan Dharma, and you want a Hindu majoritarian state. What will happen when all of a sudden Muslim population rises? How would you maintain your secular credentials as per the Constitution of India? This may make Indian society more unstable and leads to backward direction. India is rising now. Now comes the last call to action option. We have a hybrid solution that avenges the killings of innocent Indians and send a message to the world with a bang. This should be complemented with an aim to have a government and army in Pakistan that doesn't foster enmity with India. This includes covert operations by our intelligence and security agencies to eliminate terrorists and their enablers over a period of time. This would have deniability, will avoid direct and open conflict while keeping the adversaries under constant pressure. Simultaneously, we should catch the perpetrator of the crime and have a firm legal case and expose Pakistan on international forums, including in United Nations, International Court of Justice and push for sanctions against Pakistan. We must also plug loopholes in our own security apparatus, and Indian independent defense journalists must be given free hand to scrutinize and see the security preparedness of our security forces rather than subjecting journalists to full or limited or partial censorship to avoid unpleasing stories. Remember, national interests are supreme in a democracy and whole of India approach is required. Remember, the 22nd April Pahalgam attack is an extraordinary hybrid war involving psychological and information domain. You all know. Our response should be befitting. Avenging innocent Indians' death in befitting manner using hybrid means will send a message of a stronger and resolved India, while it will prevent collateral damage, military or nuclear escalation, or negative effect on our own economic rise. Any attempt of war will distract prospective investors in India. It is a fact that India is not a great power in hybrid warfare, but just a learner. Yet there are real intelligent people in India who can guide security forces, and the only condition for security agencies is to shun the ego and high-handedness with civilian patriots in national interest. That's my advice. National Defense keeps fighting for India through its journalistic stories fearlessly. If you like our content, then do share and subscribe, please. You may also support us by joining our membership. I thank you for watching National Defense. Once again, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. Stay tuned. Namaskar.